views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Siegell. Artie is renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and entertaining motivational speaker. Sky's given talent of inner guidance gives her the ability to interpret feelings and images impressed upon her by the spirit world. Call now for answers from your guardian angels and loved ones at 800-930-2819. And now here are your hosts, Artie and Sky.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You're with Sky and Artie, and we are the dynamic duo with Angels and Answers.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas
Hanukkah.
and Happy Hanukkah. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, ho, ho, ho.
Oy vey. Ho, 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 ho.
You want to know
Oy
something?
vey.
You want to know something? Today, I was in Connecticut, and I was visiting a friend for a little bit in Connecticut. And I saw something extremely interesting, and I'm going to give a piece of advice for anybody who is selling Christmas trees, because this is what one place did. It was a flower shop, a nice-sized flower shop, and they were also selling Christmas trees right outside their place. And not that they had a large piece of property, but they had a decent amount. And what they did was they brought deer or reindeer onto their property where they were selling Christmas trees.
I love it.
And then you could take a picture with you and Santa Claus and the reindeer while you're purchasing your Christmas tree.
Oh, my gosh. I love that idea. Hey, listen, Artie.
Yes.
You think if I put antlers on the boys that they would
that would work?
Would that work?
It could work. It could work. But I'll tell you, I was so impressed when I drove by this place. I said, oh, my God. I mean, these places could be making a killing. And I'm sure that they're going to have to pay some kind of a farm or whatnot to have these reindeer there for the day or whatnot. Yeah. But I'll tell you, the draw that you'd bring in would be phenomenal.
Listen, even if I had a tree, I would stop anyway and buy something just to get a picture with Santa and a reindeer. Are you kidding?
Yeah, with the elves, with the, you get the sled, you get the reindeer, even if you buy a wreath. You buy a wreath, buy a menorah, buy something.
Anything. I'll buy the axe that they're cutting it with. I don't care. Just give me something. I want a picture with the reindeer. It's not so much Santa Claus. I want the reindeer. I love animals. I'm a big animal person.
I know, because they don't give you any flack and they're filled with unconditional love. That's the reason.
Absolutely. There's nothing more comforting to me than cuddling up to my boys on the couch at night.
Wait, what do you mean your boys? Tell the audience what your boys are.
I'm sorry. My boys are two giant Neapolitan Mastiffs. They are silver blue they had blue eyes when they were babies, but now they turned to yellow. They have heads that weigh they're the size of about a bowling ball, even a little bit bigger, and they weigh about 250 to, I don't know. The last time I weighed Diesel, he was a little on the thin side. He was like 228, and he was not feeling well, but he's up there now. He's put on some weight. So the boys are about between 240 and 250, and they actually are about the size of a reindeer, and they are just the most cuddly, smush faces with the long hanging jowls, and they really don't drool except when they drink. And I have a rag that I wipe it with. But there's nothing more comforting to me than to see them. Now, they each have a blankie, okay? Everybody has a bankie. And the bankies are very soft, fuzzy material that you'd put on a queen size bed. Because these are big dogs. I don't suggest anybody with an apartment to get one because they take up a lot of real estate.
Absolutely.
You know, and they each have a queen size blanket, and they pull the blanket onto the couch, and they cuddle up in this blanket, one on either side of me, and I just stroke their heads and stroke their brow. And there's nothing more comforting to me than to be sitting there watching television with my boys' heads on my lap.
Yeah, you're snuggling. Yeah, anybody snuggling with your animals and your pets and your cats and your chinchillas, your hamsters or whatever. But yeah, it's very cozy and comforting. You know. It's
my
great.
gosh!
You want to know something? When the next house that I buy, it has to have a fireplace. And to me, like having a fireplace and having a built-in pool, and you've got all that, Sky, God bless you. To have all that stuff, oh my God, if you could afford all that, and to throw in a jacuzzi there someplace, that's the ultimate. And what I really appreciate about people's backyards are when they have a pond in the backyard. I love
that.
I love the sound. I love the sound of running water and to see the carp or the catfish there. Yes. It is so beautiful and so serene. It's amazing. Yeah. I just love it. I get on this emotional, spiritual high whenever I see that. I have to take it in. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
It's amazing. You know, Richie and I were going to put a pond in. But then we decided to hold off because we are going to be doing some work outside this year. We're going to make an addition to the house. In fact, it's going to be an addition right off of the family room. And the kids are going to have a game room out there and then a deck after that, so that the kids can have a room to watch television and a room for a pool table and some Pac-Man games, like the legitimate ones,
yes.
And a foosball table, and they don't have to bother us while we're watching television. So they're going to have a complete game room, and then after the game room, there's going to be a deck. Now, the way I planned it, because I'm an interior designer, so the way I planned it was between where my covered porch is and the new addition, there's a perfect spot there to have a koi pond.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So after we finish the addition this summer, we're going to put in a koi pond. My sister has a koi pond. It's beautiful. But I want to tell you this. It's a lot of maintenance. The fish could actually stay in the pond during the winter. Did you know that?
I know. That's amazing to me. I just cannot believe that fish are capable of hibernating and they lower their body temperature so that they could, not only freeze to death, but that they don't have to have any food or next to no food during that whole time, that they lower their I don't know how nature works that where they
chemistry,
just lower their chemistry where they could survive. It's amazing.
It is amazing. But I will tell you this, those koi are not so cheap. If you want to get a nice size koi, not even a foot long, let's say 8 inches, 10 inches, you're looking at about $1,000.
Well, then you have to invest.
You get larvae, and you have them grow.
No, what you do is not. No, this is how it works in the fish world, and I'm not even joking around. In the fish world, if you buy a little goldfish, the little goldfish will grow up to be a big koi because they grow according to their environment. If you keep them in a small tank, they will stay that size. And if you put them in a larger tank, they're going to start to grow. And if you put them in a larger tank, they're going to grow even more. So you could actually, buy your fish as small could be, and then all of a sudden, then they're going to start to grow. I don't believe that's the same for every fish, but for a majority of fish, I believe that's true.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'll tell you what, she's got lily pods in there. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then she's got a waterfall that comes down from that. It's just so amazing when you sit in her backyard in the middle of the summer and you're just listening to that running water so gently going into that pond, and you watch those fish. You want to know something? You do have to feed them.
I'll never forget. When I was a kid, I was maybe, 8, 9, 10 years old, around that area. And I went to a party at the temple, my Jewish temple.
Yeah.
They were having like a porn party or whatnot. And so anyway, there was
I love Purim.
Yeah, so there was this game where you take the ping pong ball and you try to get it into the fishbowl, the little fishbowl. And if you get the ping pong ball into the fishbowl, you get to keep that fish.
Oh, how cool.
So I did that, and I got myself a fish, and I had it in my room for about a month. And then all of a sudden I said, and I named him Charlie, and I said, you know what, he's kind of lonely. He needs another friend. And then their friends needed more friends, and then they needed more friends. So the little ball turned into a small tank, and the small tank turned into a very large aquarium tank, which then turned into a baby pool in my backyard. Literally ended up having, with no exaggeration, about 100 fish in my backyard.
Fabulous. That's not easy keeping that kind of fish.
Yeah, my brothers and I, we dug a hole so that we could put a baby pool into the ground, and we literally put all these fish. And so it wasn't just me and my brother taking care of the fish, but also my next door neighbor, because he was like really into all that stuff. So all of us took turns taking care of the fish. And we would have neighbors coming, walking around, and they would want to come in the backyard to take a look at the fish. Now, the interesting thing that we didn't put into consideration is that the day it poured, we had fish all over the backyard.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Like the water overfloweth.
Oh no, the beached whale.
Oh my God! Like it wasn't even a thought. It's not like, oh my God, we got to go check the pool. Didn't even think of this. All of a sudden, I walk in the backyard and I'm looking at him, saying, "What the hell's going on here?" And all of a sudden, I see my fish like flopping all over the place, and like the water was overflowing. I said, "Oh my God!" And so I needed my brother and my neighbor to help me with this. But then, because we had so many fish and stuff so they wouldn't die, we ended up having to, make do of things. And we had to, because we had to transport the baby pool into one of our basements, into my neighbor's basement. And so we did that for a couple of years during the winter time, and then we would bring it back outside. But, that was a lot of maintenance. That was a lot of maintenance. But it was fun at the same time.
Oh, that is such fun, and that's really nice. That's so nice. It's such a great hobby. And something, people that have fish tanks, well, I know my husband anyway. My husband can sit in front of a fish tank like you would sit in front of a television. In fact, when we were growing the kids and we lived in an apartment, when the kids were really small, we had this fish tank, and he would take a kitchen chair and sit in front of the fish tank for hours after he came home from work, and it would relax him.
Yeah, you want to know something? I have told a lot of clients who are very stressed out in their daily life, I would say that, now mind you, I have to be spiritually told this. I just don't give shallow advice. And a lot of times I have told people, I said, why don't you go and get yourself a nice fish tank, fill it up with some nice fish that you appreciate, and just allow and to put it in a room where, you hang out and allow yourself just to watch the fish and do nothing else, chill out, and, make the tank look as beautiful as possible. And also for feng shui purposes, when you put fish in your home, that it actually helps create prosperity in your life. Because,
really?
Yes, the flow of water creates this beautiful flow of energy, which is all about money. And so when the fish are swimming back and forth and all around, it's actually a very prosperous thing that you're generating within your home, within your life. Now, I personally don't understand exactly how feng shui is situated, because there is an art to feng shui a home, which I don't know how to do. There is an art to it. So, but I do know that, if you paint your rooms a certain color, whether it be green or gold, and there is a money corner, I just don't know.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
That I do know. You have to put a green plant by a back door. when you put a green plant by a back door, that's actually the feng shui to bring in more prosperity.
Do you want to hear something Sky, we have to go to a commercial break, but just before we go to a break, I just wanted to tell you that Donald Trump, he's living proof that feng shui works because he has feng shuied every single place that he owns. So,
really?
Yes. So, all right, everybody, you're with Sky and Artie with Angels and Answers. We are the dynamic duo. So stick around because we're going to be right back right after this commercial break.
Melikilikimaka is a wise way to say.
Artie Hoffman is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart and the host of the hit show Angels and Answers. A renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and an entertaining motivational speaker, Artie has helped over 15,000 people with his amazing intuitive gifts, his passion, and his humor. Call 877-ANGEL-02 to schedule a personal reading or to have your own psychic Artie party. That's 877-ANGEL-02. And visit artiehoffman.com and Angels and Answers on Facebook.
Transformation Talk Radio's amazing hosts span from the Pacific to the Atlantic coast. With a world full of loyal fans, what's stopping you from joining our clan? Bring your powerful message to listening ears. We've been helping people do this for many years. Want to make a difference? We can help you out. Just give us at Transformation Talk Radio a shout. It's easy to get started with an email so small to host@transformationtalkradio.com, and then we'll give you a call.
Way to say Merry Christmas to you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You're with Artie and Sky, the dynamic duo. So,
Merry Christmas.
Sky, go ahead. Tell me Did you have a story that you were about to share?
Oh, yes. The feng shui. When you put a green plant by the back door, that's supposed to bring you a lot of prosperity. Also, when you paint your door red, and I believe it's facing east, a lot of Asian people who do practice feng shui will not buy a house facing the west. I'm pretty sure
Really?
it has to face east in order for them to buy the house. Or they tell their kids, no, you will not buy that house. And in the Asian culture, the adults or the elders of the family are taken very seriously. They have a lot of say-so and a lot of clout in the younger ones' lives. Even if you're of age to be married, and even if you are married, they have a lot of say-so in your life. And I think it's very good because, the older you get, the wiser you are. And, you can learn, you have a wealth of knowledge in front of you. And that should really be appreciated and absorbed. And I think it has a lot to do, and I believe in feng shui 1,000,000%. My door does face the east. However, it's not red, but it does face east. I do have plants by the two back doors. And thank God, God's been good to us financially, and I wouldn't change that for a bit. But now I want to find out, like what you said, to put the waterfall, because they do sell these little waterfalls that you could plug in,
Right.
And I absolutely love that. I love the sound of water. It's so grounding. And in our business, Artie, we need it.
Yeah, you said that your door faces the east. My door faces the pizzeria. Right across, and we are filled with such abundance, and so
You're getting a lot of dough there, right?
And the belly overfloweth.
Really? At least you're attracting a lot of dough.
That's right. We're attracting a lot of dough. Very good, but I'm bummed. That was excellent.
I want to find out where this water feature should be placed in the house.
Now, if you read something on feng shui, because it is an art form, and it's not just about money, it's also about love, and it's also about prosperity, it's also about family. It's literally, it covers every aspect of your life. Now a lot of people say, well, what does that have to do with anything? And the truth of the matter is, it has to do with everything.
Everything. It's the natural flow of the vibration
of your own life, of your own home.
Yes, and of Earth.
Exactly. And so when you have things that are very cluttered in your house, if you notice, if you were to excuse me, if you were to go and actually research feng shui, and it specifically tells you at what part of your house, when you enter the part of your house, it will specifically tell you, because not every single house is the same, depending where the house is facing. So certain rooms, certain aspects of feng shui will be different in different homes according to how your house sits.
Right.
And somebody who knows feng shui will know that. So if you have somebody who comes into your home to feng shui your house, and there is a charge to that.
Yeah.
And I paid it, and let me tell you something. It really helped change the quality of my life as far in many aspects. In many aspects, with love and also with prosperity.
Oh my! You know what? I would love to do that myself.
Yeah, so we'll have to try to find somebody for you who specifically does feng shui. But I'm sure if you Googled it, you'd understand. But my whole purpose of this is that when somebody comes into the house and says, all right, you need to do this and this and that to this room, and person who knows feng shui will be able to tell you if this is about your personal life, if it's about your love life, it's about your work life, if it's about money. Now, when they tell you, they could tell you things about your life just based on how you have your house arranged. Because if you have a tremendous amount of clutter in your home in certain areas, a person who knows feng shui will be able to tell you, you're probably having problems in business because of this, that, and the other thing. And you'll see that they'll be right about and it's not a prediction. This is like an art form. And it's because your place is so cluttered in certain areas, it's literally blocking, whether it be your prosperity or your love life. But once you unclutter that area, that part of your life is going to start to open up. And when it does, don't look at it like, oh, that was just a fluke, or that was just, that was just a coincidence. No, it literally is all about the energy of the home, which creates the quality of your life. So, like they say, how you treat yourself on the inside is what life will be like on the outside as far as your body goes. And as far as your home goes, how you keep yourself cleaned or organized where the energy flows within your house, then everything else outside your home, within your life, about your life, will also flourish and flow. And if you have nothing but clutter and chaos, well, then that's probably what your life is.
This is true. This is very true. I happen to like feng shui because it keeps things in energy patterns, and it allows the energy to flow. And it brings in nature. They bring in fish, they bring in the water, they bring in the plant life. And it's so important for us to realize that, even though we don't live outside, we should really make an attempt to bring some of the outside inside, because it's such a balance for us, all of us, to have a little bit of outside inside. And when I say outside inside, I mean if you can get a small waterfall, have that going. Some plant life, that's amazing. Some fish.
But they also use mirrors.
Yeah.
Because mirrors will help bounce good energy around within the room, and mirrors will also deter any negative energy and push it right back out.
Yes.
And you want to know something also? The color of your door is important. The color of your front door is very important. And, if you notice, most Chinese homes have red doors.
Well, that's what I was talking about before.
Right. Yes, I know that.
And you're right about that. And the color red. Do you know that Asian people get married in red?
You want to know something now that you mentioned that? Yes, because my nephew, who got married a few months ago, married a gorgeous Oriental girl. And so they had two outfits, one of their regular dress up with the white and stuff, and then another of their red. They dressed up in this red garment. And they looked like the emperor and the empress.
How beautiful is that?
And it was really cool. It was really cool. And I joked around with them, because my nephew is Jewish, obviously, and he married a a girl who's Oriental, and I said this to you before, Sky. I said if they have a little girl, they're going to have an Orienta. So for all of our non-Jewish friends, a yenta means somebody who won't stop talking in Yiddish.
You're killing me today. Oh, my gosh. But you're right. I do know that the Indian people from India.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see an Indian bride from India?
Only in, like, pictures or movies or something like that, but
I want
never
to tell
for real
you
life.
something. If there's something ever so beautiful, just look at an Indian bride. She is stunning. Stunning. Oh, my gosh. Beautiful beyond beauty, with the gold and the nose ring connected to the ear and the, what do they call that? Starts with an H. Oh, it's that they draw on your hand. Henna.
Okay.
They do elaborate henna on the hands. And the gold is remarkable. Gold all over the place. Even the head garments, there's usually a veil, a very subtle veil, matching the beautiful dress.
You want to know something?
It has like gold, like a gold band around. Oh my goodness. It is absolutely, she looks stunning. I don't care if she's a dog. She looks stunning.
You want to know something? You're talking about a veil. Did you ever hear of children that are literally born with a veil? Anybody? Yes. And my sister-in-law's father, the only one I know personally as of right now, the only one who I personally know who is actually born with a veil over their face. Babies that are born with an extra piece of skin that actually literally covers their face, which a doctor easily could just, cut right off. Yeah. It's not a big deal. But when a baby is born with a veil over their face, that child is extremely gifted spiritually as far as intuitiveness.
You're right.
I know.
You're absolutely right. I've heard of that. I don't know if I was born with a veil. I have no idea. I have no clue.
Hell, I didn't know about my gift till I was 27, so... unless if somebody threw a blanket over my face. That was about the only thing that was covering my face, possibly a blanket.
They put a pork chop around your neck so that the dog would play with you.
Yeah, really? No kidding.
That's what my husband told me that one time. He said, you were born so ugly that they put a pork chop around your neck so the dog would play with you. I said, gee, thanks, honey. I love you, too.
Obviously,
he was doing those jokes,
Playful. You're right.
You know him. He's not exactly a humorist.
Well, that's one thing about family. You could really bust on each other's chops and not have to worry that, they're going to disown you. Granted, it's really great when a relationship where two people in a relationship could bust each other and the other person isn't hypersensitive about my feelings being hurt. There's a difference between, crossing a boundary where enough is enough and you're just being playful. And I think that's really cool when there's relationships where it's like Ralph and Alice from the Honeymooners. Yeah. And you could just, say whatever you want to say where anything goes, but where the truth of underlies that, we love each other and that everything's fine and you could bust each other's chops and not worry that you have to watch every single word you say.
That's right.
And let me tell you something.
I have that kind of a relationship. You know me. I bust my husband on everything.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful that you're able to joke around with each other. And even if you have that with just friends where you could just bust on each other's chops and stuff like that, I think that's really cool that you could bust on each other's chops and not worry about, hurting each other's feelings. I have a friend, Rick, growing up. If he wasn't busting your chops, that means, and if he wasn't putting you down or say something clever and stupid, to you, he didn't care about you. He didn't like you. He only did it with people, which he was like that mostly with everybody. But yeah, he was like that with everybody. If he busted your chops, don't look at it like, oh, how rude. That's like, you got to learn to laugh, But right now Sky, we have to go to a commercial break. So stick around, everybody, because we're going to be right back right after this commercial break.
Tune in each Tuesday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com for the Dr. Julie Show, All Things Connected with Dr. Julie Kroll, featuring weekly segments with David Eisen and the Chakra Sound System. Each week, you will journey through infinite possibilities, expand into social potential, and find beautiful beginnings where endings leave off. Change makers from around the world will explore what's emergent about the environment, relationships, health, and the evolution of consciousness. Visit thedrjulieshow.com.
This is Lynn Brown from the show Winning at the Game of Life. Listen, it's time to enrich your money stories and open your path to all that you desire. We all have limiting beliefs which we accumulate from our life experiences, ancestors, and past lives. These beliefs block our ability to receive the unlimited flow of abundance that the universe is constantly offering to us. Why are we so emotionally caught up on the word money? It's only one of the many forms of abundance. I'm excited to uncover your unique stories and limiting beliefs around money and abundance, as well as give you tools to release them from your space. It's time to invest in yourself. You deserve everything you ever imagined and more. Call me to schedule a reading at 844 letter B Intuit or letter R letter U Intuit.com.
Lynn was very accurate, and she was so clear in explaining everything to me. I highly recommend Lynn to all of you.
Is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You're with Artie and Sky with Angels and Answers, and we are the dynamic duo. Sky, if somebody wants to get a personal reading with you or to have a party, what should they do?
Okay. If you guys want a phone reading or a personal reading, if you're close by, my number is 908-500-1474. And Artie?
If somebody wants to get a reading from myself or have a party with us, feel free to give me a call at 877-ANGEL-02, or you can go to artiehoffman.com, and you'll see that I do have a lot of different kind of YouTubes of myself, too, so you could check it out. And so, anyway, today is that beautiful day that everybody waits for all year round. And I got to tell you something funny. There was a little. Hopefully, I can remember it as it was read, but it was like one of those funny sayings in like one of those knick-knack stores, those tchotchke stores that has a bunch of everything, and it said, "One day of Christmas and 364 days of the year." It mentioned something about. It's a possibility I might have that one day of coal, but I'll take my chances. 364 days of the year for fun and one day of coal. I'll take my chances. So it was something to that premise, but it was pretty funny.
Do you know that, think about it, all the preparation that it takes for one day, holy cow. I mean, shopping, and I know you don't shop, but like,
well, it's like a wedding.
What?
It's almost like a wedding.
Oh my gosh, yes. You have to start like in September, because if you have a big family, it's impossible to buy everybody a gift and still pay the mortgage if you want to have Christmas. So you have to start like in September. So you start buying presents, and then you have to remember where you put the presents and who you bought for. So you have to make a big list. And then throughout the 3 months, you have to continually buy these little things when you see them, and make sure that your kids all like them and want them, because, they'll tell you that they want something in September, and by December they want something completely different. So you have to be careful. And then you have to wrap. I think the worst thing of all is the wrapping. I mean, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, my hands, when we're finished wrapping for Christmas, between me and my daughter, my hands are like bloody between cutting myself on the paper or the scissor, and now we have something new. We have a blade.
A blade?
A blade, yes.
That you use to cut. Yeah, all right, I could understand that.
Yeah, you put it it's like a plastic thing, and you put it between the paper, and there's a blade inside of it, and you just shush it across the paper, and it's supposed to make a perfectly straight line. Mine never comes straight. Never. And I'm always wrapping presents that are either too shy of paper or too much paper. And the tape is ridiculous. I mean, you could become a millionaire just with paper and tape.
Hey, listen, all you Catholic people, learn for the Jewish people. If you want to have a really good Christmas, a really inexpensive Christmas at 50% off guaranteed every single year, celebrate Christmas about 3-4 days after Christmas. Get all the sales the day after Christmas. You'll get everything 50 to 75% off.
I'm telling you, you guys got it made.
You'll get more. You will get more than double the amount for your money. So if you want to spend like an extra, if you want to spend $500, it's like spending $750 to $1,000 if you just buy all the gifts the day after Christmas. And you know what? You just get a bunch of boxes with wrapping paper with nothing in it, and you just keep it there under the tree to make it like, so you can't open that until December 30th. Why? Till December 30th, you cannot open it. Just know that your presents are there. Go and get the presents.
Santa Claus lost his GPS. He'll be late.
It's going to be a little late, but don't worry. You're gonna get your pennies worth. You're going to get your presents worth. Don't worry about a thing.
Right? Oh, my gosh. And let's talk about the food.
Sure. Let's talk about food. Who doesn't want to talk about food?
Right? Christmas Eve dinner. Oh, my God. Because my husband is half Italian, too. So he's half Jewish, half Italian. Wow. And they celebrated everything.
Well, yeah, and
he's Romanian.
That's
so
basically what I do, too.
Oh, God. So he wants the traditional fish dinner. They have to have, I think it's 7 fishes.
7?
7 fish. You have to make, for Christmas Eve dinner, you have to make 7 fish. 7 different kinds of fish.
Does any of them include Mrs. Paul's? Because that's about the only kind that I'm eating.
In my house, it does.
All right.
Yeah, and they have these exotic, aquarium food, like octopus, squid.
Gefilte fish.
Who eats that stuff?
Yeah, I don't eat that. Yeah, I don't know. You want to know something? If I was a fish, I would starve because I do not like sushi.
Right?
Seriously.
Oh, and I make him make it because it's just so gross looking. I just can't. Oh my God.
Oh, and to me, it smells to high heaven. I can't take it.
Oh, and I'll make codfish. I love fried cod with panko breadcrumbs. Oh my God, it's like heaven because it's a clean tasting fish. There's no fishy taste. It actually is. It tastes clean in your mouth. And then what I do is I put it in an egg batter, and then I put panko breadcrumb on it, and I fry every piece of it golden brown. That is scrumptious.
You want to know something? Here you are talking about all this fish and everything. I was surprising my stepdaughter one time with, green tea ice cream. And the only place that I could find green tea ice cream is to go into a Chinese supermarket. So I figure I'd surprise her. Well, for the very first time in my life, I walked into a Chinese supermarket. And as soon as I walked in there, I literally felt like I was walking in the bottom of the ocean. The whole supermarket stunk of seafood. The entire supermarket smelled like fish. And I just could not wait to get out of there because I'm not a seafood person. But I kid you not, I literally felt like I was walking in the depths of the sea.
I believe it.
I will never do that again. I don't want to do that. I hate it. Unless if I go in there with nose plugs, I will not do that to myself again.
Yeah. Well, we get our fish from a private store, and it's extremely expensive. Extremely. I mean, I don't know why they do that. They'll have sales all year long, And comes Christmas time, everything goes up by $2 and $3. It's so unfair.
Yeah, I know.
And these are specialty fish, and, it's difficult to buy them anywhere else. So you have to buy them in strictly a fish store. And that place stinks from here to high heaven. And you have to take a number because there's 10,000 people in line, and there's no way around it. There's absolutely no way around it. And then it smells so terrible. Oh, my gosh. And when you get up to the counter, you're thinking, don't forget, you have 7 fish.
Right.
So I'm buying lobster and clams and shrimp and mussels and scallops and octopus and what is that other thing? Squid and conch. So, I'm buying all of these like crazy fishes.
It all sounds like bait when I go deep sea fishing.
It is bait.
Unbelievable. When I go to a Japanese restaurant, and my wife and my stepdaughter wants to have sushi, I definitely have chicken teriyaki, steak teriyaki. Love all that stuff with the rice and the vegetables. I love all that stuff. But like I said, as far as the fish end, oh my God, you lost me at hello.
I know. I like codfish, like I said, and I like lobster, and I like shrimp.
And that's great because, seafood's extremely healthy for you. Well, except for the shellfish. But, I mean, seriously, it's very, very healthy for you. And, it's a shame that I just don't like fish. Ugh. I go as far as tuna fish, like I said before, and certain things. But,
You don't like gefilte fish?
I don't like gefilte fish. I love a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I know. I love a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich, too. You know that? I really do.
That's one of the things that I could literally, fun foods. Here, fun foods that I love. Baked macaroni. I love peanut butter and jelly. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. I love Captain Crunch. I love pancakes. I love vanilla hot fudge sundae. I love corn on the cob. I love French fries. To me, all this is like fun foods. I love to nibble on it. I love chocolate eclairs. Frozen chocolate eclairs. I love it. Oreo cookies. Fun foods. These are fun foods. That's what I love.
How about Jell-O? That's a fun food.
Yeah, Jell-O's a fun food also.
I love Jell-O.
Every time I have Jell-O, I always have this thing about wanting to slurp it through my teeth. And I love warm or hot chocolate chip cookies.
Mm.
One of my ultimate favorites. It seems very simple. But bagels that are freshly made, and as soon as they come out of the oven from the people who make it, this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I went to order what was it? Cinnamon raisin bagel, and all of a sudden I saw the guy, on his flat pan, dish out all these fresh hot bagels just out of the oven. They were plain bagels. I said, I want that instead. I said, I don't want anything on it. I just want the hot bagel. And it's so hot where you can't even hold it.
Yeah, oh, yes.
But that is truly orgasmic. I love it. I love it to death.
Let me tell you something. Growing up in Brooklyn, in a predominantly Jewish area, we had bagel stores all over the place. And at a certain time, my dad would go out because he knew the time, and he would go buy the freshly baked bagels. Well, I got so spoiled from that. When we moved to New Jersey, they had something that was an imitation bagel as far as I was concerned, and never hot. But now it seems that they're opening up bagel shops, which is so cool. So I was able to get a really hot bagel about 2 months ago, right straight from the oven. And boy, there is nothing in this world that is better than a real New York hot bagel. Oh, it is orgasmic.
I know, it is. It tastes fantastic. I also love, when I have pizza, which is another fun food, I love to have where it's just freshly made. When it's like cooked, or reheated, I should say. Yeah. It doesn't taste as good as when it does when it first comes out of the oven.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. you know, and I still enjoy pizza, you know, regardless. You know, I could probably have it just about every day of my life.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, pizza? Yeah, a slice of pizza. Yeah, not like where I'd be eating a whole pie and stuff like that. I mean, I used to when I was a kid, but yeah, that was, yeah, pizza's fantastic. It's like an aphrodisiac.
I hate pizza.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't like pizza, because I don't like tomatoes.
Oh, you don't like tomatoes?
No.
Oh, wow. Well, you could still have pizza without the tomato sauce.
That's what I eat. I'll have like the pizza with the whites, like the mozzarella and the ricotta on it.
Right.
That's and a little bit of basil. Really good, really good. But as far as the tomatoes, I'm such a pain in the neck because I don't like tomatoes. And my husband is like part Italian, and you know, to him, tomatoes are like, you know, a staple of life. And the day doesn't shine, the sun doesn't come up unless there's a tomato in the house or a can of tomatoes. I've seen that man take a can of whole tomatoes out of the closet, do it with the can opener, and put them in his plate, and put olive oil on them, and eat whole plump tomatoes out of a can.
You got to be kidding me.
Is that gross? What?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Okay,
well,
hey, Sky, listen, we got to go to a commercial break. So, all right, everybody. Well, listen, stick around because Sky and we're going to be right back right after this commercial break.
Merry Christmas.
Mele-Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas. A very Merry Christmas.
Sky Siegell co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Pat. I know you've heard my friend and colleague, John G. Sutton, on my show. Well, guess what? He is now going to be a regular each month. I know many of you have experienced John live on air and how absolutely incredibly accurate he has been. So guess what? He's going to be joining us every month. For those of you that want to find out more about John and schedule your amazing session, go to psychicworld.net. Don't forget to stay tuned and tune in for John G. Sutton on the Dr. Pat Show every month.
Mele-Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. You're with Sky and Artie, the dynamic duo with Angels and Answers. And Sky and we just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. And also, we wanted to thank you very, very much for sharing your time with us on this special day. And, count your blessings. You know, please try to count your blessings. And even though you might be going through some hard challenges in your life, listen to the music that you love to listen to. And, try to look at all the positive aspects of your life, as far as, having your health. And if you don't have your health, look at the aspects that, the aspect of your life that you do have assistance from other friends or family, and if you need that extra money, don't be afraid to go out and get another job for maybe to, if you're healthy enough to get another job and on top of what you have, or don't be afraid to change. So you could be more financially abundant. You don't have to accept your position with what you have. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And ask for assistance because it is out there, but a lot of people have a really hard time, asking people for help. They feel like they have to do everything on their own, or they're not, I don't know, it's their pride. The pride gets in the way. And it's a shame because, when God sends angels to help you out, it's not just the energy of our angels that help us out, but it's also the help of other people, and whether it be friends, family, loved ones, it could be strangers. But when help or any kind of help presents itself to you, if it wasn't meant for you to have, they or it never would have presented itself to you. So just be gracious and allow yourself, to receive, all right? And don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to do what it takes, to give you a quality of life. Don't worry about trying to keep up with the Joneses. Don't worry about what other people might think of you. Just you do what you have to do. Maybe it's not a matter of trying to make more money, but maybe you might have to cut back a little more,
Right.
But
That's so true.
But I also tell people that if you really want to be successful in life, all right, go to people who already been there and done that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to try to figure out your life. So if you need assistance in your life in a particular area, whether it be about, it could be about health, it could be about business, it could be about whatever, use the energy of politics, because what I mean by that is that, it's all about who you know. It's not just about what you know, but it's about who you know. And don't be afraid to ask somebody who might know somebody who could help you out in any given situation. Because unfortunately, in this world, it is a lot about who you know. But if you don't ask for help, whether you're talking to God, literally asking for help, and you need to ask the angels for assistance, all right, so the angels can intervene into your life to open up doors for you, all right? And you need to believe that you deserve to receive. You deserve to have help. But it would just be because you're not allowing yourself to receive. And if you're getting rejected by situations, or you're getting rejected by certain people, well, then don't accept failure as an option. You keep going and trying and going and trying until you get your answer. And don't be afraid to go to chat room and ask other people on the computer or in cyberspace land, who knows who, or who could help me with this, or does anybody have any information? But what I'm saying is, in the world of cyberspace, you were never alone. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there in any kind of a chat room, or if you're having, if you're being stopped as far as when you're asking your friends or family for anything, and you're not getting the help you need.
True. No truer words are spoken. I would like to take a moment and thank all of our listeners for being so devoted to us all year long. And as we approach the end of this year, I want you all to know that you really mean something in our lives. You're important in our lives, and you make us who we are, and you make us want to do better. And I want to thank you for all of that. And I want to thank all the people who have allowed me to be a part of their lives this year and read them, because a reading is a very private moment. And I want to thank them for sharing a portion of their lives with me. And I never take anyone for granted. So I've met a lot of beautiful people in my travels this year. And I want to thank them all for giving themselves, a little part of themselves to me. And for me to remember how wonderful they were and are. And I want to thank you all.
Well, that was very nice.
Well, you're very welcome.
And you want to know something, a lot of people, just recently people were looking at, when I was doing a reading for a few people, and just recently a few people have said this to me, Artie, you're very lucky to have the gift that you do. What you do, you really do have a gift. And I said, well, it's not that I'm any different than you are. I said, it's just something that intrigued me and that I allowed myself to run with it. And it was by my choice that I chose to learn. It was literally learned how to open up my heart and mind to be 100% unconditional about any thoughts and messages that God or the angels or loved ones who have passed away, that they want to share with me in my mind. And so what I say to people, it's not that I'm special over you, that God is speaking with me or the angels are speaking with me. It's not that who does God choose to speak to. It's who chooses to listen. Because
That's
God,
so important what you just said.
Yeah, because God does speak to everybody.
Everyone.
And the angels listen. And we have to pay attention to the signs. So people like Sky and myself and other friends who are of the spiritual manner, we have just grown to learn to listen to the other side. And then we share these beautiful thoughts with you. And it is a blessing for us that we're able to see things past what the eye could see, or what we physically know just in this moment. But we're actually able to be lucky enough to be able to develop our gift, all right, and open our minds so that the angels and our loved ones are kind enough to share with us, whether it be health issues, whether it be the future. And, helping you really do help us. Because it's a blessing for us. In the Jewish religion, in the Yiddish words, it's called a mitzvah. A mitzvah is when you do something good for somebody else. And
You're so right. You're so right. And something, it's not even us, Artie. It's actually
it's all about us. It's all about us. I'm just kidding.
It's just we learn to listen, like Artie said, but it's not really us. We have really nothing to do with it. It's all about listening to God and his angels that we receive these messages. We're just like a radio. We are nothing but a radio. It's not us who gives you these messages. It's not us who takes the credit for it. It's all from the divine. It's all from the spirit world. And it's just us who happen to listen a little clearer. And every one of you out there can do the same thing that we do. We're not special. We don't have any special gift. What we have is the ability to listen. And if you just stop and take a minute and pause out of each and every one of your day that come along throughout the year, if you just stop and listen, then you can do the same exact thing that Artie and I do.
Don't you agree? Right. You just have to follow your gut, and that's what we trained ourselves to do. A spiritualist, a psychic, a medium, whatever you want to call us, we've just learned to follow our gut instincts, and that's the only difference between you and I, by following our first gut instincts. Now, we're human, and we do make our mistakes, but that's all a part of being human. And, it's our journey also. And unfortunately, right now, Sky, we have to say goodbye.
Well, I hope everybody out there has a blessed Merry Christmas and a very happy Hanukkah to all. And thank you again for being so devoted and to listen to us each week.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your time with us today on Christmas. We hope we entertained you and gave you some food for thought and some laughs. And from my mouth to God's ears, may God bless you and your family and your friends with all the life, health, happiness, and prosperity that you would love to have in your life. Thank you for all your beautiful blessings upon I call upon the Holy Spirit. Thank you for blessing all our listeners.
Yes.
So that everyone has a happy and a healthy life and a quality life.
And a fabulous new year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
and Merry Christmas
guys.
to you,
God
Sky.
bless.
And Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegell. Tune in every Thursday for this great 2-hour show at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to call in at 800-930-2819 to get answers from your guardian angels and loved ones. Artie and Sky have helped thousands of people with remarkable accuracy as they tune in, use their intuitive gifts and inner guidance, and communicate with people's angels and loved ones who have passed on. To schedule your session, call Artie at 877-ANGEL02 and visit artiehoffman.com, and call Sky at 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com for personal or group readings. And tune in next week for this fabulous hit show.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fontaine on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, remove your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Speaker, teacher, channel, clairvoyant, Leslie Fontaine is a transformation catalyst who channels a powerful energy from source to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.